New year, new content. Today's video is a rebranding of my What If series, and while it was really fun to create conceptual cards, these videos will take a slightly different approach. With so many cards, well over 3,000 different ones at this point, why do some archetypes see more success than others? What ultimately makes one archetype or boss monster deck feel so well polished, while other decks continue getting mediocre or lackluster support that leaves them in the dust? Every one of these videos ultimately explores a current archetype in the Digimon card game. And because this topic has a wide range of points to cover, this is something new that whether you're a player or someone who works at Bandai is more so to cover what I think would elevate a deck enough to make it competitive. And as always, if you enjoy these types of videos, do consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that notification bell for more future content. The first video to cover for this rebranding of a series is going to be Mastemon. Mastemon has already received several waves of support already. First with the starter deck, character support with Mirai Mikagura in BT10, and additional support in EX6, Infernal Ascension. And after so many printings, what are some of the shortcomings that ultimately prevent this deck from being amazing? Keep in mind, I'm no game developer or designer, but most of what I will discuss will pull from other archetypes as reference evidence of why Mastemon just cannot compete with the meta of today, or even in the future if you're watching this video at a later date. To understand most archetypal development in the Digimon card game, many decks have default level 3 searchers for the deck. A Digimon that can add one component for the line, and or another card. For this video, I will heavily lean on Greymon, Garurumon, or Vmon decks, because they're chocked so full of searchers that they are easy reference points. Take Agumon and Gabumon from BT5 for example. Both of these level 3 searchers have 3-card search capabilities that can add not just a Greymon and Garurumon named Digimon respectively, but another in the form of Omnimon. Agumon X and Gabumon X likewise extend this to the same named Digimon as one group, but then also adds the X antibody option to the hand. And although Gabumon doesn't do much in regards to searching, admittedly there are a lot of variants that can draw you a card under specific conditions. Which of course leaves the BT12 Agumon that digs not just 3 cards, but 4 for the Greymon or Omnimon Digimon, and Tai Kamiya. As a disclaimer, I'm probably going to use this for a lot of videos in the future as no other level 3 really has that kind of support. Though to be fair, is Greymon competitive? Not at all. But from the older days, definitely really good. When you look at the Salomon line, how many searchers does Salomon realistically have? And before you pile on me, but DigiPanda, there's a searcher with an inheritable in BT13. Man, that Salomon is definitely for Leopardmon, not Mastemon. In total, when you look at every Salomon that's ever been printed, it falls on BT9 as the only level 3 that does any searching. It reveals 4 cards, and adds one 2-color purple card and bottom decks the rest. So while it's nice to add multicolored Gatomons, Mastemons, and even super top-end cards like Ordinemon or Ruin Mode, you kinda mess up when it comes to your level 5s. And while true, you've got the pride and joy of Gatomon from EX6 that on play, and when Digivolving reveals the top 3 cards of your deck, to add one card with the Angel, Archangel, or Fallen Angel trait along with a Mirai Mikagura, you also have the old starter deck Gatomon which can just add one purple and yellow card. Not to mention, it can reduce Digivolution cost into an Angel or Fallen Angel by 2 for a nice evo of 1. But I have one simple question. What's so wrong with lowering the cost for this deck by making the searchers the level 3s, and the level 4s being your tamer players? Why not make Salomon your default searcher for Angel, Archangel, or Fallen Angel along with one Mirai Mikagura? At the same time, why can't it be a yellow-purple Digimon that you could lean physical or wisdom trainings in conjunction with your eggs? Why can't Gatomon be the one that plays the tamer, instead of having to rely on your Angelomons or Lady Devimons to do the work? Simply put, while you could go this route to make the base a little bit more memory efficient and less reliant on Ukomon, there's still one big problem. Lady Devimon and Angelomon. These cards typically are monocolored yellow or purple, and while true Amber Memory Boost is an upgrade for these decks, I do wish that the trainings could be more easily splashable without losing one or the other. Which is why, after a discussion with one of my favorite judges, American Bash, we kicked around a few ideas. The first method to tackle the color problems for Lady Devimon and Angelomon were very simple. Make them dual color purple and yellow. We've already seen Wizardmon live in the color split zone, so it's not too far-fetched to my idea to make Lady Devimon purple-yellow, with some effect that complements some yellow tendencies, while Angelomon could be yellow-purple for the other. But American Bash brought up a much simpler solution, and I'll use one simple card for this example. Arukenimon and Mummymon. This Digimon Tamer card is interesting in that it focuses on 2 characters in a single card. And this isn't the first time Bandai has done something like this. Dual Tamers made earliest appearances in BT5, but could Dual Digimon be on the horizon? This could potentially fix a lot of issues with consistencies of certain decks. A card like Lady Devimon and Angelomon might have a more expensive cost associated with it, but could have the name part worked out for the DNA Digivolution. For Blast DNA Digivolution, of course, maybe in the hand it's treated as being a purple and yellow card, even if it's something like white. Or you could combine both elements of the last discussion and just make Lady Devimon and Angelomon be the reasoning why the level 5 is now purple and yellow, versus forcing the secondary color on the original Digimon themselves. But ultimately, this thought came to mind because when playtesting with Curiosity on Mastemon, the underlying problem with this archetype is that you have very little ways to play your Tamers without paying their costs. And other archetypes have this capability. As of right now, it always feels like you're using Ukomon as a crutch to find your Tamers, find your Digimon, and then handing a bunch of memory to your opponent. Generally, what do you think Mastemon is missing for it to be put into competitive standing? Or do you think most of what I've mentioned today is unnecessary, or out of line for an existing archetype that you see has no issues? Let me know, because I'll be in Orlando for Bandai Card Games Fest. Feel free to say hi, and as always, thank you so much for your support. This is DigiPanda, logging out.